We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fantasy. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello, Aromas. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Reanimation scheme. I was saying scene, but that's not it. But we are here. Sebastian's gonna go look for Jory, and I guess we're gonna go back to sleep, maybe?
Right.
Then good night, Sebastian. And despite everything, sleep finds me easily. The rest of the night passes in peace. I awake to the sound of chattering and laughter from the hallways, sharp and loud even through the magic barrier set up by the door.
Ziana.
Can they keep their voices down? Shielding my eyes against the blinding sunlight streaming in through the window, I glance around the room. It seems like Sebastian has yet to return. Rejoicing in the rare opportunity to laze around in bed without interruptions, I roll onto my side to shift into a more comfortable position, and a small piece of paper on the floor near the door catches my eye. I raise an eyebrow at the sight. When was this slipped under my door? Sienna, please don't tell me it's calling me to another meeting. Mumbling disgruntlement, I slide off the bed and reach out to grab the note. The Imperial Necromancy Authority extends its sincere thanks to all for heeding the summons. The next meeting shall be held in 5 days in the council room at the headquarters. You'll be notified at the time of the meeting closer to the date. Over the course of the next few days, the Chief Commander of the Imperial Necromancy Authority and some officers shall be speaking to each death mage individually. It is but a quick process for authority to learn more about the difficulties experienced when summoning spirits. You will be involved when your session is scheduled for the day. Informed, sorry. Please remain within the headquarters as much as possible in the event that your presence is requested. Oh, thanks, Sienna. Having gleaned the most important bits of the note, I toss it aside. I finally have a free day to myself. I can hardly believe it. This calls for a celebration in the form of stuffing myself with breakfast until I'm unable to move. I keep my head down as I head down the hallway, avoiding eye contact, especially with the familiar faces among the crowd that I recognize from my days at the academy. That is until I catch a glimpse of a familiar flash of purple. I look up to see Larissa walking towards me with a smile.
Hi.
Morning, Michiko. Did you sleep well? Remembering the incident in the middle of the night, I can only shrug and dodge her question.
Hey.
Hey, Larissa. Are you going for breakfast too?
No.
I don't have time. I have to head out right now.
Oh.
Right away, sorry. In this much of a rush. Why? There's an important life mage I'm losing my voice. Oh my god. Representative arriving today. Mother sent me to receive him at the teleportation square. Arriving today. I thought everyone's already here.
You know.
Well, he's not really a representative. Do you remember Mr. Videria, the previous chief commander of the Animancy Authority, before my mother who retired a few years ago? He heard the news from the Nallenshire Crier and decided to join us here. Is there a room for him? I raised an eyebrow in surprise. Coming back after retirement just to help the mages. Such devotion that I can't comprehend. Instead of giggling as expected, a strange expression appears on Larissa's face. Devotion? I wouldn't call it that. He's an interesting fellow. You'll see. You don't seem to make me comfortable about meeting this man. I'd love to stay and talk, but I really need to run. I'll be in so much trouble if I miss his arrival. Catch you later, Michiko. With an apologetic smile, she rushes off in the opposite direction. Shaking my head in slight bewilderment, I continue towards the dining hall. It doesn't take long before I enter the dining hall. I head straight for the food, more than ready to dig in. This time there are no more run-ins with anyone familiar, not even Aldrius. Then again, knowing him, he's probably skipped breakfast in favor of his paradise, the headquarters library. 3 trips to the buffet tables later, my stomach is filled to the brim. I lean back in the chair, letting out a sigh of contentment. As I remain in my seat resting after the overindulgence of food, the dining hall begins to empty. I glance at the clock hanging on the wall. Lunch won't be served for another 3 hours. What can I do until then? 3 hours? That's a lot. Explore the headquarters, go out into the city, or rest in my room. I'm pretty sure this is going for Larissa or Audrius or nobody. We're gonna go explore the headquarters though, because I find that it's gonna be exciting. And because I want to see our baby boy. I guess I can just walk around the headquarters. It's been years since I was last here, and much has changed since then. It won't be a good idea. It would be a good idea to familiarize myself with the surroundings again. Standing up with a stretch, I cast one last look of regret at the remaining food that I couldn't finish and leave the hall. You don't have to like put that somewhere. Just leave it on the table? I wander aimlessly down the hallways without a destination in mind. Although not much has changed in the layout of the headquarters in the past few years, with the corridors that all look identical to each other. It's a pain trying to navigate the building, remember certain routes. I can't help but grumble under my breath. Yes, uniform architectural design looks pleasing, but has nobody considered how confusing it is for unfamiliar visitors? Eventually, I find myself outside of the library. Remembering how Audrius almost instinctively led me to the library instead of the council room yesterday, I can't help but smile. Audrius is probably in there again, if I have to guess. Maybe I should drop by to say hello. I have nothing better to do anyway. He is here! Ooh, looks nice in here too. My guess proves to be accurate. I quickly find my red-headed best friend among the shelves lining the walls of the library. Hey, best friend! Curiously enough, he's sitting cross-legged on the floor instead of taking a chair. Leaning against the shelf, his head is bowed, his nose almost buried in the massive tome in his lap. All around him, there are scattered papers and open books lying on the floor. Staring at the state of this mess, I'm surprised the librarian hasn't thrown him out by the ear yet. Audrius? That's how you pronounce his name. I'm not gonna remember that after like the next recording session. There's no reply. He remains lost in the book he's reading. It's time to come back to the living room. As I approach, I become aware of the deep frown etched in his forehead. His mouth is twisted into a thin line that conveys his frustration. Hey. Are you alright? I reach out and pat his shoulder to grab his attention. A loud gasp escapes him as he jerks from my touch in shock. His head snaps back, colliding with the wooden shelf behind him.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, are you okay? You didn't hurt yourself, did you? I didn't notice you're here. Audrius lets out a small hiss of pain, his hand flying to the back of his head to rub at the sore spot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
Sorry.
Are you alright?
Yes.
I'm fine. I lower myself to the floor next to him as he... What the fuck? Was this always glowing, or were you just blocking that? And he shifts some books aside to make room for me. What's with all this? Oh, I've just been researching. Every day, I wonder what the authority was thinking by assigning you to be a reanimator instead of a scholar. Audrius gives a low chuckle and turns his face away. I'm not any good at it. I just enjoy reading and thinking. Well, you're better than I am, at least. I couldn't understand anything the scholars were saying during the meeting. A thought occurs to me then, and I nudge Audrius in the side with a half smile. Actually, do you have any brilliant insight to share with me? I'll split the rewards in half with you. Come on, help a best friend out.
I'm sorry.
You know, I would if I could. I'm just as stumped as the rest are. Well, at least you can you explain to me the schools of magic theory that the scholars were arguing about yesterday? Which one should I be supporting? So I can make an intelligent remark or two at the next meeting and maybe give Cavados a good impression. I wink at him, but Audrius just scowls, the frustration I saw earlier returning to his face. Neither.
What?
All the scholars talk about are different schools of magic theory. They don't dare to think outside the box. Even when something clearly contradicts their respective theories, they either dismiss the evidence as false or they forcefully twist it so that it would fit within the scope of their theories. This is why... It said Sebastian said that. Where the fuck is Sebastian? This is why research on magic has stagnated so much in recent years. The scholars' way of thinking is restricted by what they already know, so much so that it's keeping them from discovering more of what they don't know yet. Audrius launches into a ramble, the words pouring out of his mouth non-stop like a flowing current. The gentleness that always lines his face has been replaced by something harder, more determined. The shyness and uncertainty give way to confidence as he continues to speak with assurance and conviction. My man's has a lot of hope and dreams and needs to be telling the whole world. He's gonna be a great leader. I think I made a mistake in raising this topic. I had forgotten that this was one of the subjects he feels very passionate about and would not shut up about once he gets the chance. Ziana, I remember his passionate speeches from when we were younger and in the academy, but I don't remember them being on this level. He's like mega passionate now. Right as I'm starting to despair over how I will stop Audrius' rant, we were interrupted by a sudden pulse of magic in my pouch. What the fuck? Frowning, I pull out the pocket communication mirror and flip it open. Just as I thought, the soft purple glow covers the surface of the mirror. Who's trying to contact me? What do they want? I direct a small stream of magic essence at the mirror to allow the communication. A face appears on the surface, slightly distorted by the purple swirls. Miss Talisco, please head to the Chief Commander's office. He has requested to meet with you immediately. What the fuck already? I mean, I guess the earlier the better, right? As soon as the last word is said, the messenger's face disappears and the communication is ended.
What in the name of Ziana?
I voice my confusion out loud. Thankfully, Audrius has been broken out of his spell. He touches his chin thoughtfully, clearly having heard the message as well. I heard Mr. Cavados wants to question each deathmate about their experienced failure with the spirit summoning spell. I guess it's your turn. Now that he mentioned it, I recalled the note lying by my door this morning. I had put it out of my mind except for what it said about there being no meetings for the next 5 days. Of course, I'm apparently the first one, or among the first, to be called for this session. Such luck. I let out a sigh, snapping the mirror shut and sliding it back into my pocket.
Right.
I should go
Yes.
then. Please don't be late on my account. But it's good to see you. Thank you for dropping by to say hello, Michiko. I flash him a teasing smile, reaching out to ruffle his hair as I stand up. He dodges my attack and I laugh. I had to make sure you weren't buried to death under a massive pile of books and scrolls. Though you really should tidy up before the librarian notices and kicks you out of the library. Don't come crying to me if that happens. I guess you're right. I'll do that and move to one of the tables. I'm gonna say tablets. Tables at the back. He starts gathering all the books and papers in his arms, then climbs to his feet with some effort. Something catches my eye, and I spot a book with a fancy cover and what appears to be an amethyst embedded in it, lying on the ground half hidden behind the shelf.
Wait.
I think you forgot this one. I pick up the book and hold it out to him. He looks down at my hand, his face immediately changes, and then he grabs the book from me at the speed of light.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Michiko. That's a very important piece of text I needed. He carefully slips a tome in the middle of the pile in his arms.
Excuse me.
Is that like dark magic or something? Well, they're already doing dark magic. Is that super dark magic? Well, good luck with your meeting, Michiko. Now, if you'll excuse me. He rushes off towards the back of the library, leaving me behind without a second glance. Is it just me, or does he seem to be in a hurry to be rid of me? Maybe I'm just overreacting. I mean, he's probably trying to study real hard to like figure out what the fuck's going on, and we're just a distraction that he's not wanting. Shrugging his behavior off as just being eager to return to his research undisturbed, I make my way to Kavado's office. Oh, hi, Prince. You're so handsome. Hold on, I need a sip. Because my voice is apparently dying. Come in. Hiding my trepidation, I push the door open and slip into the room. Kavados is seated behind the desk, his hand clasped together with his elbows resting on the table.
Right.
Oh, he has a ring on his finger, on his pinky. That's adorable. Good morning, Mr. Kavados. I nod at him with a polite smile, which quickly freezes on my face when I see another person in the room. There he is, Lord Waven, in all his frosty glory, sitting on the couch on the side of the room with perfect posture. Kavados notices the direction of my gaze, and he breaks the silence with a clearing of his throat.
Oh.
Sorry, am I interrupting? Should I come back later? Worry not, I have invited Lord Waven to join us for the meeting. Just mine only, or for everybody's? That's exactly what worries me, Kavados. Why would Lord Waven be interested in something as trivial as this? I'm only an insignificant mage among the masses, but I have no choice except to force a smile on my face and greet the noble as naturally as I can manage.
Lord Waven.
Hello again, Lord Waven.
Ms. Talisgo.
Hi. Sorry, I think Tyler's getting sick, and I think he's getting me sick. Please be seated, Miss Talisco. Enough time has been wasted. I can hear the impatience lining Kavado's voice, muttering in my head about how unreasonably short their notice was, and I shouldn't be blamed for it. I slide into one of the chairs in front of Kavado's desk.
Sorry.
Sorry for keeping you waiting, I guess. Let us begin. Worry not, I only have a few simple questions for you. Please answer truthfully with as much detail as possible.
Yes.
Of course, Mr. Kavados. He gives me a tight-lipped smile and looks down at the paper on his desk. I too glanced at them, trying but failing to make out what they say from this angle. Michiko, Talisco, let's see. You've been in the position of a reanimator for the region of Serenadni. I don't think that's English that I'm even trying to pronounce. Since your graduation from the academy, am I correct?
Right.
When did you first encounter problems summoning spirits? 2 days ago, early morning. I see. He picks up a quill and begins writing on the paper. His silence falls over the room. My gaze darts to Lord Waven, who still hasn't moved from his spot on the couch, or spoken up since. One can almost mistake him for a statue. I suppose I should be relieved he hasn't felt the need to say anything yet. Please describe what happened. Every detail could be useful, so try and recall as much as you can. And I'm gonna recall as much as I can in the next episode, because we're nearing that time. I guess maybe the demo ends around like chapter 4? Like before you hit chapter 4? Or maybe in the middle of this. Who knows? Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I missed it. touch it,